What's up, guys? So, Happy New Year's to everyone. We are officially in 2023, and I know everybody just, like me, is hoping for a better year. 2022 was pretty crappy. Uh, I don't know. Let's early so far for the early part of the year, we're not getting any good news as of yet. I'm here to talk about the latest from Motorsport Games, and as usual, it's all negative. So let's take a look here on Twitter. I'm sorry, I cannot pronounce, there's too many letters, but thank you for sending this to me. Several people have tagged me to this article. So I'm going to look at it now, and let's see what this is all about. Bear with me. My internet at work is I do everything off a hotspot off my phone. So okay. Okay. So this is from Insider Gaming. Sources, according to sources, Motorsport Games developers threaten lawsuit over unpaid wages. So Motorsport Games is not paying some of their developers. Things only seem to be going from bad to worse for Motorsport Games as Insider Gaming has learned that developers from the company are threatening a lawsuit over unpaid wages. They already have threats of lawsuits from other people outside of Motorsport Games for different reasons. Um, but this is coming from the people that are supposed to be working on these games themselves. Sources within the company have provided Insider Gaming with months of requests and pleas as to when employees will be paid. It's understood that around 30 Russian employees at Motorsport Games have not been paid since October. 30. So they're telling you that the game's coming, that this roadmap, uh, nothing's changed, nothing's been delayed, everything's on course. Meanwhile, you have 30 Russian employees as of this article not being paid since October. You really think they're working on the game, or these are disgruntled employees who probably feel like they're never going to see a paycheck? There was another 2 million cash infusion recently. Where's this money going? It's supposed to be going to the development of these games. You're not even paying the people working on the games. The constant ignorance and lack of communication from Motorsport Games have left the employees to request that if all debts of the company to employees from the NASCAR team are not paid by January 25th, a lawsuit against Motorsport Games would be filed. If I was this group, I would file immediately. Don't wait, because if they haven't paid you since October, the chances are you're not going to get paid now. And if you do get paid, it's not going to be retroactive. You think they're going to just pay you this cash going back to October? They're probably going to, at best case scenario, probably give them 2 weeks pay and tell them, and then with a promise of, we're going to get you paid. Just hang in with us. That's what they're going to do. Um, I would file immediately, because the longer you wait, the harder it's going to be to get money. Because if you wait too long, this company's going to be bankrupt at some point. And you can win a lawsuit, but you're not going to get money. They recently had another cash infusion, as I said. Where's this fucking money going? And unless you file a lawsuit, you're not going to find that out, right? You need to file a lawsuit to get an investigation underway and perhaps get a judge to freeze uh, the bank account of Motorsport Games until they can figure out what's going on. Because in a lot of situations like this, um, that could happen. If you don't do that, if you wait too long, the money's going to disappear. and you're not going to have anything to win in a lawsuit. The grounds of that lawsuit would be a non payment of salaries as well as forcing employees to sign the termination of an employment contract. What the fuck is that? Payment problems first originated in October when Motorsport Games said it could no longer pay its Russian employees due to the war against Ukraine. This is how full of shit these people are at the top of Motorsport Games. Dmitry Kosko and his minions, right? They're blaming the war in Ukraine for these employees. Why is Dmitry Kosko still getting paid? He still gets paid, by the way. The war in Ukraine isn't affecting his salary, but it's affecting the salaries of the low level employees, the people actually working on the game. I fucking hate how phony and how these people are con artists. Okay, so Motorsport Games proceeded to move its Moscow office to Georgia and offered employees the chance to move. Now, when they mention Georgia, for those of you who don't know, they're not talking about Georgia in the United States. They're talking about Georgia, I believe. I'm not sure if it's Ukraine, but it's one of those Eastern Bloc nations, right? So Georgia is somewhere situated between Russia. I'm not sure exactly where it is, but it's not United States Georgia. Where was I? Hold on a second. Give me a second. Okay. Offered its employees the chance to move. Okay. Although relocation isn't an uncommon for developers, Motorsport Games did not offer any compensation for the move and said that employees would have to relocate on their own. So, usually when these companies ask employees to relocate, they pay for things like, a certain amount of housing, right? Maybe a few months. Uh, they'll make the move worthwhile. In this case, right? Motorsport Games is just telling them, you do this on your own at your own expense, with no promise of any kind of compensation at all. This has got to be the shittiest job in the gaming development community, in the gaming industry, I should say. Uh, it just never ends. This fucking company is insane. Okay. In addition, new contracts were offered to those who could move to Georgia, which included reducing wages in comparison with their Russian salaries, which were around 20% less. So not only are they telling these guys that if they want to relocate to keep a job with Motorsport Games, they would also take a pay cut. So the expenses of the relocation is all on them, and they would have to take an additional pay cut. You would have to be insane to actually move, to stick with a company that's going to the bottom of the ocean. I mean, you really do have to be either insane or desperate. It's understood that even those who were able to relocate to Georgia are also struggling to be paid, some of whom relocated with their families. So, we already have people that actually chose to relocate, even though they're not getting paid and are going to take a pay cut. This is, I can't believe how bad this is. It almost feels like a parody. Like this is all a big joke, and it's just a made up article. We reached out to get more information on what the claim about forcing employees to sign a termination of employment meant. As of now, however, no other details have been provided. So yeah, I'm not the only one confused by this. Uh, they were employees being forced to sign a termination of employment. I'm not sure what that means. Is I'm only guessing, but I wonder if they told these people either you move, you agree to relocate, or you're forced to sign a termination of employment, like so that they can't. I guess Motorsport Games is trying to block any litigation, right? I'm not sure what this means. It's like, wow, these guys would be better off, working at Walmart. That's how bad this company is. And of course, Motorsport Games is not gonna they're not gonna tell you what this means. One source within the team did say that developers have been told that their payment was coming for months, but nothing has come. As usual, they've been lied to. So yeah, they're being lied to, and what else is new? But, of course, people like Captain Sleeveless is going to keep telling people that, because Motorsport Games said so, there's games coming this year, and he's going to wait and judge them based on the next game. This all of this that's been going on for over a year is not enough. It's not enough for Captain Sleeveless to make a judgment call. And of course, he's not going to tell people that the chances of actually having a game released by this company in 2023 is slim and none. He's not going to tell them that. Every time it's brought up again, there are excuses being made. Of course, they, Dmitry Kosko, he's milking this for all it's worth. As I said earlier, he's getting paid. He really seems to be the only one making any money, and he knows this is his last. It's going to be his last opportunity to make money. He's already a multimillionaire several times over, right? But he's going to try to milk this for all it's worth. So when everything crashes and burns, he walks away. He never has to work a day in his life again. He's already in that position, but that's how these people are. These con men, they're greedy. They can't just walk away. Meanwhile, they're hemorrhaging money. They can't pay their fucking employees. He won't take a pay cut. He won't say, you know what, as the CEO, I'm gonna take a pay cut. I'm gonna reallocate these funds to make sure our employees are paid so that we can push something out this year and maybe salvage something and maybe try to right the ship. I mean, it's pretty much too late for that. I'm just saying that a CEO who really does have the best intentions for the company is not going to just keep taking a salary when everyone else is not getting paid. Um, this is Mr. Nice Guy. This is who Captain Sleeveless thinks is a great guy, tells a lot of jokes. Just recently, an insider gaming exclusive detailed what has been going on inside Motorsport Games for months regarding development and overall management. Insider Gaming has reached out to Motorsport Games for official comment on the lawsuit threat and will update the story should one be received. Yeah, good luck with that. I don't think they're going to respond. Yeah, this is it's amazing. I just when you think they hit rock bottom, they just keep. The more you hear about them, the worse it gets. Um, they're blaming the war in Ukraine for these guys not getting paid. Don't fucking believe that. None of this has anything to do with what the fuck does the war in Ukraine have to do with the development of a video game? By the way, they have studios all over the globe. This isn't like their only fucking studio. It's insane. You are a fucking lemming if you believe anything Motorsport Games tells you. There's still people thinking that there's going to be that Formula One games come. No, not the Formula. I'm sorry, IndyCar is coming. There's still people that you see them in comment sections saying it's coming because they said so, and they said there's no delay. Um, I won't go as far as to say with 100% certainty that they're not ever going to release anything because you never fucking know in this crazy world. But what they do release, if they release something, first of all, the chance, for me, if I have to put a number on it, for me, it's 95%. You're not going to see shit. They'll go bankrupt before you ever see anything. Or there's that little tiny 5% chance that they release something. But whatever they release is going to be, it may be worse than NASCAR Ignition because who's working on these games? They've lost a lot of employees. As you could see here, you got 30 Russian employees who haven't even been paid since October. You think these guys are just focused on working on the game? Uh, this is a mess, and that's putting it lightly. Um, I don't know what else to tell you guys. This is the longest, or I should say, the slowest sinking ship in history. I've never seen things this bad for this long, and they're fucking somehow they refuse to die. And meanwhile, I don't know where they get this cash infusion. As I told you in a previous video, it has to be from someone who already has money invested, and it's like one of those things where they're trying to artificially pump up the stock just to try to get back some of their lost investment. It's very complicated. I'm not an expert in these things, but I can tell you for sure that nobody in their right mind is going to just uh, invest money in this company. And like I told you, this is Dmitry Kosko's last. This is why he's not giving up a dime. He's going to keep paying himself because, of course, the higher ups at Motorsport Games when they hired Dmitry Kosko to be their CEO, these CEOs, and it's not just him. Almost every major corporation, these CEOs have these fucking incredible golden parachute deals. It's almost like a guarantee that no matter what happens to the company, they walk away filthy rich. It's like you fail upwards. Failure is actually success, financial success. Um, Dmitry Kosko is too famous now. Nobody is ever going to pick this guy to be a CEO. This is why this is his this was his golden parachute, Motorsport Games, because he was a CEO at several other companies, but no, still really nobody knew who this guy was because it wasn't big news. Now this is a high profile job, so who's going to hire him, right? So, and he's not going to need to be the CEO of anything because he's going to be filthy rich. He's already filthy rich. It's insane how fucked up this is just continues this to snowball. Um, I was going to talk about the outlook of NASCAR games in the future. I'm going to save that. I may do a video on that Sunday. Uh, I don't want to make this video any longer than it already is. So I'm going to do that in a separate video. I have a lot of thoughts on the future of NASCAR games, and that is all dependent on how quickly these guys can just die. This is why I don't root for them. I don't root for them anymore. I want them to die. The quicker, the better. And they refuse to die because the longer they stick around, the longer they hold on to that fucking license, the longer we're going to wait. And as I told you earlier this year, we're not going to see a new NASCAR game for a couple of years, I don't think. But there are different scenarios, and I'm going to talk about that. I'll do a video on Sunday, so stay tuned for that. I hope you guys, you know, are interested. So I was gonna talk more about that, but this is it would be too long. But yeah, this is the latest on Motorsport Games. You're not going to get good news out of these people. And this has got to be the worst fucking game development uh, company of all time. I mean, I can't think of anyone worse. This is horrible. But yeah. Anyway, those are my thoughts. I look forward to your comments later.
A vida custa